Birth of a Nation came out. When did it come out, Mike? October the 7th, something like that.
7th, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and you had a lot of potential of gaining a lot of audience to come see it, you know. But somehow it just drooped down. I mean, he sold the rights to it for like $17.5 million, and he hasn't even made that much back from it. I saw the movie. I thought it was a great movie. I saw his interviews and so forth. He's very passionate about the story and so forth. Why do you all think it kind of floundered, it fell flat, the audience did not go see that?
You know, first of all, I think there's some misconceptions, right? I was looking at Mojo. I don't know if you know, that's where we go to see what, what films are making. And so the original budget was $8 million to make the film.
Right.
Domestically, it's already made $15 million.
Right.
So no one's losing money. Let's start with that.
Okay.
So I think there's this idea and perception that people are not going to watch the film. And I think more people than we think have watched the film. I don't know why the media has chosen to sort of paint this film as the film that could have been. The film did well. I think it was a different type of story. I think it was one of those stories where Black people get to say, you're not going to do this to me. But there was a price to pay for that at the end.
Yes.
So while it could have been sort of a happy ending, it wasn't. And I think it's very different in a lot of ways, and that's just one of the ways that it's different. But I think that there is some kind of media thing going on with this film about people not watching it. And I think a lot of people have seen the film.
You know, you could call in and chime in if you saw the movie or if you did not see the movie. 212-757-1393. Please tell us why you did not see the movie, and if you did see it, tell us what you thought of it. The rape allegations. That was, people are thinking that's why a lot of people did not see the movie. But I kind of think that's not the reason. That's
I don't
not
think that's the reason.
Really.
I think there's been a lot of films where there have been issues with the filmmakers, with the actors involved in the film, even the financing of films. And those films have, gone on to do well. Right. So I don't know that that's the reason why it didn't do as well as the media wants to say it didn't do. Domestically, $15 million. It hasn't even gone international yet.
Yes, yes.
So this wasn't a bad financial investment by any stretch of the imagination.
But correct me if I'm wrong, and you're the expert, but $15 million for a film doesn't seem like a blockbuster hit or even
that depends, right. Well, that depends on the budget of what it cost to make. In this case, it was $8 million, but also this is just the first leg. Films have a lot of different ways of producing revenue. So there's domestic, there's theater runs, it still has to go, there's a lot of distribution options for it. So no, while it's not a lot of money in comparison to what it cost to make the film, it's, they're doing okay.
So on the business side, they're profitable, but maybe not so much in popularity, is what I'm hearing?
Yes, okay. I think that's the case. But
what's
you're
your
a filmmaker, so tell me what you think.
I disagree with a lot of what you said, but I want to hear what these ladies think about the whole thing before I say anything. I want to hear.
Well, I mean, I won't take too long, but I have a whole dossier about this thing. But the strategy is that, okay, Black people have been shot, murdered, killed for the last 10 years now, and I mean forever, obviously, but there's been this campaign. Birth of a Nation comes out and actually challenges, it gets the ivory up of the Black people in this country. It could do that. And I felt that the allegations against Parker came in very strategically at a certain time, where everyone was kind of stirring and we were getting a little annoyed with the activity that was going on in the community of people getting shot. And that kind of, people were excited about Birth of a Nation. I was excited about Birth. I'm like, oh wow, okay, let's get going. Let's see something that's gonna give us a little bit of spirit. And all of a sudden, this allegation came and totally confused people. It divided people and women to men. Again, we couldn't get together enough to come out there and support a film that talked about our history. Never mind, it's a historic thing. And I think that the media had something to do with squelching the drive.
The criticism is that he has made other movies in these allegations, the rape, which he was accused of, and he was acquitted, it never came out before. And the question is, why now?
Why now? And I think it has a lot to do with,
Tiffany, what's your take on it?
I have a very different point of view. I think Mr. Parker wanted to develop a narrative that Black people have always had a legacy of being empowered regardless of their situation, that even in those times in the 19th century, we weren't just victims that didn't do anything. So you have that narrative, which is a great foundation. However, the way it's told is a bit gruesome, at least for my taste.
Did you see the movie?
I saw clips.
You saw clips of it.
I was thinking about seeing it, and I saw clips, and I don't like to see those type of movies. I like movies more like Selma. I want to see just a nice, clean. That's my personal take.
Let me take this phone call.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to you, Mike. Caller, you got caller. You watch the Sistah TV show. What do you have to say?
Well, I agree with Ms. Shorter in that those type of movies are hard to watch. I think we like to show, or we like to see victorious movies like Selma, but Birth of a Nation, and I appreciate Ms. Stewart saying that Birth of a Nation was not a flop. It recouped its money. It made more money than it cost to make, which is a very important thing to point out, in spite of what the media has to say. And the film itself is a very important tale. And as much as I love the media, and I am a part of the media, sometimes they decide to direct what our thoughts are rather than portraying or reporting accurate news.
Okay, thank you. What's your take on it, Mike?
Well, okay, I think a number of things. In answer to your main question, which is why this movie didn't do well. Okay, first of all, this is just my view. Okay?
We all
First
have
of all,
views.
the film definitely is not a success. Okay, the $8 million it cost is what it cost the producers. It was an independent film, so the people who invested money in the film, they got their money back. Nate Parker and whoever the people he brought in, that $17 million that they got, that $17.5, which is the most any film has ever been sold for at any film festival ever.
Really? Okay.
So that's great. But Fox Searchlight, they absolutely did not get their money back yet. Okay, they spent $17.5 million plus X millions they spent for advertising. Let's say they even put 10 in. So they're going to be in the hole for that.
How much does it cost? I mean, what is
For prints and advertising? It
Well, for
depends.
them to get their money back, Fox. Is it three
they
times of what they invested or
At
something like
least,
that?
it depends on the film, it depends on the P&A budget, so it all depends. There's no like formula, okay? But of course, they're only going to put X amount of money in, but they were going for the prestige. They were going for end of the year Oscar nom, and that's what they were going for. So on that level, in terms of money, here's the deal. Black historical dramas do not make money. You pick the biggest, most
Well,
best-selling.
how about 12 Years a Slave?
12 Years a Slave only made $50 million here in this country, 56.
Well, how much does it take to make?
Well, it costs at least $30 million.
Oh,
Okay.
really? Okay,
But the point
wow.
I'm making, and it made 115 overseas, so it
Yeah,
made close.
international.
So it made close to 200 million, and that's good. That's solid, but that's no huge hit. 200 million is about the top. The Amistad or Beloved or even Color Purple, which is probably the most money-making historical black drama ever, only made like $210 million. Okay. So the point I'm making is black historical dramas, for the same reason that Tiffany mentioned. Black people do not want to go to see a movie like that.
But this was a different movie.
Doesn't
It
matter.
maybe,
Doesn't
maybe
matter.
could
They don't
been,
want to. They don't want to go.
But it wasn't just another slave movement. It was a revolution.
Listen. I feel that way, and I would support it. But I'm just saying that's a big part of why the movie didn't do well. The other side of it, the rape allegation in this country, I think
All right,
the
let's
one
bring that.
thing, I think sexism trumps, pardon the pun, racism. You know, because that is the thing that at some point, you have to atone. Okay, that's what Trump was embraced by the KKK, was racist, did all these things, but it's not until his absolute other sexism came out that he really started to falter, when those Republicans who have daughters couldn't face those daughters knowing they're going to support a man who literally sexually molests people. So the most shocking part about the whole Nate Parker thing is that 2 black men were accused of raping a white woman and one got off. That's kind of amazing in itself. I don't even think that could happen. I don't even think that could happen today, 12 years later. So I think that, and I was talking with a friend earlier, I think part of Nate Parker's problem in defending this is he doesn't want to, admit to guilt to something he was acquitted for, but at the same time, in the eyes of people, especially women, especially black women, he didn't take atonement, not responsibility as much as atonement. Like, okay, what are you going to do? He has 5 daughters. Okay,
Nate
how can you get Nate Parker, 5 daughters, and he had them all under 30. So you gotta. Has he had time to process what he's done? No. Okay, the cavalier attitude that he has, and that most men have in general about sexual abuse.
Well, I have
is
to
part of the
say,
problem.
Gabrielle Union said this, that, because she was in the movie.
Yes.
She didn't have any speaking roles, but she just wanted to be in the movie. But she did say that she did not take these she does not take these rape allegations lightly.
No.
However, she also said that she had read 700 pages of the transcripts, and she did say she really does not know what happened. So it's kind of double standard, not double, but we don't know. And her feeling, she doesn't know, that's what I'm getting also, she doesn't know how to process this either. But she did also mention it's about educating what no means or yes mean. If you don't get a verbal consent, that does not mean it's supposed to be yes. Hey, we have to close up. I really enjoyed you all here. Please come back. But I do have a closing remark. Tuesday is the election. You have the power. Just because someone gets into office that you think is going to save you does not mean that your power stops at the ballot. You have to keep moving. You have to keep calling. You have to keep marching, unfortunately, to make our lives better, your lives better, and America itself great, continuing to be great. Hey, I want to thank my guests, Lindsey Wilson, Mike Sargent, Emelyn Stuart, Tiffany Shorter, and also I'm Dietra, host of Sistah Talk TV show. You all know me, and as always, I am wishing you peace, love, and stay in the light.